So have you played around the controls of the map visual? In case you did not do that, try and see if you can achieve the looks and feel that you see on my own map visual right now. But the next thing we want to talk about now is how do we use a report page tooltip. First, what's a report page tooltip? You know, when you hover on any of the marks in your chart like this, you get to see information about what you are looking at, right? But in case you would like to display a chart visual rather than this basic information, right? So you want to kind of like allow for a visual display of info when you hover on the mark of your chart. Then what you want to do is you want to create a report page tooltip. Because you have to create a chart, that chart has to be on a dedicated page. So we are going to create a dedicated page now that we are going to use as a tooltip, and we want to infuse that tooltip into this our top 10 states by sales, so that we can see the market share of the segments within each state. So when you hover on a state like this, you are going to see the percentage of sales from consumers, the percentage of sales from corporates, the percentage of sales from home office. So I'm just going to go to add a new page here. Then I'm going to go to my visualizations pane. Just before I do anything at all, the first thing you want to do is to set your page to a tooltip page size. So I'll go to format, my report page. I'm going to expand page information, and I'm going to put on allow use as tooltip. Once I put on allow use as tooltip, then it's going to go to a tooltip size. But again, I want to make sure that I'm also able to reduce the size further. Yes, I know the reporting canvas is now a little bit smaller, but I need it to be much more smaller than what it is right now. So I'll go to canvas settings. When I scroll down, you see that the report page type is already tooltip, and you also see that the original height is 240 and the original width is 420. Why is this information important for me? To ensure that I'm going to have a pixel perfect kind of page size, I need to consider these two numbers, and I'm going to put them into ratio. So when I put 240 and 320 into ratio, that should give me something like 3:4. What that 3:4 is going to do for me is that for every 3 I increase on the height, I'm going to have to increase 4 on the width. Or for every 3 I reduce from the height, I'm going to have to reduce 4 from the width. Okay? So first, I'm going to change the type of the page from tooltip to custom so that I can customize it, and I'm going to try to reduce the height from 240 by 3 in 10 places. That means I want to reduce it by 30. So this is going to become 210. That's the height, and you see that the shape is not so like it used to be before. So to keep the shape to look exactly how it looked like before, the exact same shape, I have to reshape and resize it based on that ratio, right? So I've reduced 3 in 10 places from the height. I'm going to have to reduce 4 in 10 places from the width. That means I want to minus 40 from this 320, and that's going to give me 280. So my width is going to be 280. Okay, now my tooltip page is ready for me to use. I can now go back to my visual side, and I want to use a donut chart. So I'm going to select a donut chart like this. I'm going to try to place it somewhere at the center. Then since I want sales by segments, I'll tick sales. Then I will tick segments. So I'll apply a little bit of formatting to make this look better. So I'll go to my format, and I'm going to try to first remove the legend. It's not completely necessary, so I'll put off legend. Now that I've put off legend, how do I know which categories each one of these slices are? So I'm going to have to go to expand my detail labels, and I can change the type of label content that is there, right? So currently is data value and percentage of something. If I click on the drop down, I'm going to change this one to category and percentage total. So now I can see each of the categories, and I can see their percentage share. Then the title, I'm going to change it and probably reduce the size as well. So I will go to general. I will expand the title, and I'm going to change this to customer segment shares. Then I want to reduce the size from size 14 to maybe size 10. I need to rename the page, so I don't want to leave it as page 1, so I can double click on the page name here, and I will call this segment tool tip. So that's the tooltip. It's ready to be used. The next thing is I'm going to have to link this report page and this tooltip report page. Basically, I want to link it back to this my locations report, and I want to attach it to this visual. So I'm going to select this my top 10 states. When I hover now, the tooltip is still default, but when I go to format and I go to general, the second to the last option here is tooltips is currently on. If I expand it, I'm going to change the page from auto to segment tooltip. And now when I hover on any of the states, you can see the segment shares for that state. If I hover on another state, you will see the segment shares for that other state. And that's it. We're done with page 2.